Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
Unhoused man struck and killed on Toronto sidewalk in hit and run. Dozens of Canadians hoping to leave Gaza Strip. A third of Canadian drivers are less likely to buy winter tires due to costs of living report. One of two teens charged in armed robbery of Pickering Mall suffers dog bite during arrest. Police. Mississauga receives nearly 100 fireworks complaints days after announcing fine increase. Police arrest man on suspicion of manslaughter in death of hockey player Adam Johnson. Crews find body in rubble at site of house explosion in Scarborough.
These were the headlines and now let's jump right into the details.
A man experiencing homelessness who was lying on a downtown Toronto sidewalk early on Tuesday morning is dead after being hit and dragged by an SUV, the driver of which police say fled the scene. The incident took place just before 6:45 a.m. in the area of Bulletin and Scott Streets, just southeast of King and Yonge Streets, according to the Toronto Police Service. The information we have received is that a black SUV traveling northbound on Scott mounted the curb on the east side, striking an individual, TPS Inspector Jeff Banglet told reporters during an update provided at 8:30 a.m. That individual was dragged for a short distance and left there as the driver fled the scene, Banglet continued. Police told Awaz News that the victim was experiencing homelessness. The victim has not been identified at this time, Banglet said. A number of his belongings remain at the scene and investigators are using the items to attempt to identify him. Investigators are also asking businesses in the area to review any security or surveillance footage they may have and for anyone with information on the incident to contact Toronto Police. Roads closed in the area have since reopened. The city of Mississauga received nearly 100 fireworks complaints just days after it announced it would be increasing its fines for illegally setting off fireworks in December. In an email statement Monday, the city said it received 97 service requests related to fireworks across Mississauga, which includes calls to 311 by law enforcement, corporate security, and emergency services. Corporate security imposed 5 charges under the Parks bylaw at Century City Park, Korea Park, Libyan Park, J.C. Savington Park, J.J. Ploss Park, the statement reads. In Mississauga, fireworks can be set off on Canada Day, Victoria Day, Lunar New Year, and Diwali, but only on private property and until midnight. Awaz News reviewed more than a dozen of videos of crowds of people setting off fireworks for Diwali in the parking lot of Westwood Square Mall, both in the air and on the ground, with some people appearing to throwing items at others. Used fireworks, debris, and even a charcoal garbage bin could be seen with residents complaining about driving over litter to get to their grocery store. The city said no charges have been laid related to the plaza's festivities at this time. MPP for Mississauga Malton, Deepak Anand, addressed the fireworks at Westwood Square online, calling it disgusting. Anand, in a tweet posted, said he has spoken to Peel Regional Police Chief Nishan Durappa for an immediate community safety meeting. The city announced during a recent council meeting that it will soon be boosting the fines for illegally setting off fireworks, with the maximum fine skyrocketing to $100,000 for individuals who are convicted of improperly setting off fireworks on public property or property that's not their own. The fines before were $5,000. One councillor abstained from voting due to timing as it was brought forward before Diwali. I think timing matters and it's unfortunate that this council doesn't recognize that. That would be the only reason that I would be voting against it, Councillor Deepika Damarla said. Councillor Matt Mahoney said the motion is not intended to target those celebrating Diwali as the change is scheduled to go in effect after the holiday on December 1st. I think that we do need more teeth and more strength in our bylaws to be able to find individuals who are essentially breaking our bylaws and creating havoc and creating problems, Mahoney said during the October 25th City Council meeting. A new survey finds that 1 in 3 Canadian drivers are less likely to buy winter tires due to today's economic climate. The Tire and Rubber Association of Canada (TRAC) said in its report Monday that the main reason drivers use winter tires is for safety. Even though many are aware of the benefits, 31% are less likely to buy winter tires this year due to the high cost of living. Certainly, in this era of the high cost of living, winter tires are considered an expense by some, said Carol Hochu, president of TRAC. TRAC's survey found that 67% of Ontario drivers now use winter tires, which offer superior grip and shorter stopping distances. However, switching out 2 sets of rims and tires every spring and fall adds up, and drivers must also find a place to store them. Despite the added costs, the survey found 85% believe winter tires are an essential investment. The plain all-season tire will not perform so well once the temperature hits 7 degrees Celsius, Hocho said. Consumer Reports just tested all-season, all-weather and winter tires and found that a dedicated winter tire is the best choice for grip and traction for winter driving. However, some all-weather tires have some of the same attributes as winter tires. Winter tires are now mandatory in Quebec and on most routes in British Columbia. Scores of Canadians are still hoping to leave the Gaza Strip as Canadians and Israelis mourn the loss of peace activist Vivian Silver in last month's attack by Hamas militants. Global Affairs Canada said Monday afternoon it is in touch with more than 250 Canadians' permanent residents and their eligible family members in the war-torn Palestinian territory. Ottawa says 356 Canadians and their relatives have made it out of the Gaza Strip so far, including 10 on Monday. Israeli officials said late Monday that Silver, a dual national previously believed to have been taken hostage, had died in the brutal attack by Hamas that killed more than 1,200 people in Israel on October 7th. Israel has declared war against Hamas, and airstrikes on Gaza have killed thousands, with the United Nations declaring that nowhere in the territory is safe. Fighting between Israeli forces and Palestinian militants outside Gaza's largest hospital has prompted thousands of people to flee from the sprawling medical facility. Police in Sheffield, England say they have made an arrest in the death of hockey player Adam Johnson. South Yorkshire police said in a statement Tuesday that a man has been arrested on suspicion of manslaughter and is in police custody. The release did not name the suspect. Johnson, a forward for Nottingham Panthers of Elite Ice Hockey League, had his neck cut by a skid blade during an October 28 game against the Sheffield Steelers. He was later pronounced dead in hospital. A postmortem confirmed he died as a result of a fatal neck injury. The 29-year-old Johnson, a native of Grand Rapids, Maine, appeared in 13 NHL games with the Pittsburgh Penguins in 2019 and 2020. 2 teens were arrested last week in connection with an armed robbery at a Pickering mall. Police said officers were called to Pickering Town Centre, located near Kingston and Liverpool Roads, at around 6:25 p.m. on Friday for a reported robbery. Investigators said 2 male suspects allegedly used a replica firearm to steal a satchel bag from 2 victims. According to police, the suspects fled prior to the arrival of officers, but they were eventually spotted walking toward a restaurant in Plaza. Officers attempted to stop the 2 suspects, but they fled on foot, and 2 pursuit was initiated, Durham Regional Police said in a news release issued Tuesday. With the assistance of the K-9 unit, both suspects were taken into custody. Police noted that one of the suspects was uncooperative and sustained a dog bite to his leg during the arrest. He was taken to hospital with minor injuries, police said. A BB replica firearm was dropped by the suspects during the foot chase, police said. A 17-year-old and a 14-year-old each been charged with 2 counts of robbery, possession of a weapon dangerous to the public, and possession of a property obtained by crime under $5,000. They cannot be identified under the provisions of Youth Criminal Justice Act. The 14-year-old was released on an undertaking while the 17-year-old was held for a bail hearing. Crews sifting through the debris at the site of a house explosion in Scarborough have now located human remains in the rubble, officials confirm. The body was discovered 2 days after the initial explosion and fire on Sunday that leveled the home at 114 Kitchener Road, located near Kingston and Galloway Roads. Toronto Fire Chief Matthew Peck said work is being done to determine the identity of the individual, but confirmed that the occupant of the home remains unaccounted for. The coroner has yet to arrive, so there will be significant investigative work that happens under the authority of the Coroner's Act to confirm the identity of the remains that have been located today, Peck said. Ontario Fire Marshal John Peck told reporters Tuesday that the investigation into that caused the deadly incident is ongoing. Certainly, my condolences and thoughts go out to the family and friends of those impacted and all of the residents around the scene. I know it has been very trying on everyone, John Peck said. It will be a very long and detailed investigation. It will involve forensic testing and modeling. We will piece it all together and come back with the cause once we have it and hopefully an origin. He added that the investigation is in its early stages and crews will be on scene for the rest of the week, possibly into next week. He said he could not yet speculate on the cause of the fire. Too early to rule anything out. We were boreholing yesterday to make sure there was no trapped gas under the ground. That came back negative, he said. The fact that two houses on either side are still standing will form definitely part of that modeling and will help investigators lean toward a cause. When asked if criminal activity would be involved, John Peck said, "Everything is open. If criminal activity is involved, we would contact Toronto Police," he said.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.